She is 2 minutes into explaining a number that took her all morning to get right, and her phone lights up on the desk beside the keyboard. She does not pick it up. She does not need to. The preview is enough. Does anyone know if the pool needs a guest pass this weekend? A cousin, a sister-in-law, somebody in the family chat, asking a question that has nothing to do with the call she is on. It can wait. Everything about it can wait. It will not wait, though, because within 4 seconds she has answered it in her head. And a question you have already answered in your head is a very hard thing to leave sitting there. She finishes the sentence. Nobody on the call noticed anything, but for about 4 seconds, she was running 2 conversations at once, and only one of them was the one she was being paid for. Here is the part that is easy to miss, because it looks like coincidence, and it is not. She answers first because of where her job happens to put her. A desk, a laptop, a phone sitting face up beside it for 8 hours, because that is how modern work runs. She is not more available because she cares more. She is more available because her actual paid job requires her to be sitting still, reachable, for hours at a time, in a way that a lot of other jobs do not. Work did not pull her away from being the answer machine. Work is what put her in position to be the answer machine. Run the comparison honestly. The relative who drives for a living sees messages at red lights, maybe. The one on a job site sees them 2 hours late, in a pile. The retired grandparents read the chat after dinner, all at once, like a newspaper. She sees every message within about 90 seconds of it arriving, 8 hours a day, because the phone sits next to the laptop, and the laptop is where her job lives. And turning it off is not really on the table, because the school, the daycare, and the pharmacy all reach her through the same screen. And once you are reliably the fastest response in a group chat, that is not a compliment that fades. It is a role that gets assigned to you by repetition, whether you wanted it or not. Watch a family group chat for long enough, and you notice something. The same questions come back. Not because anybody is careless, because nobody wrote the answer down anywhere that outlives the scroll. A group chat looks like a shared memory, and it is not. It is a conveyor belt. Everything true that has ever been said in it is still in there somewhere, buried under 300 pickup logistics messages and a video of somebody's cat. Search barely helps because nobody remembers what the message said, only that somebody once said it. So the chat does what conveyor belts do. It moves the answer out of sight, and then it asks for it again. The pediatric dentist gets asked about 3 times a year. The Wi-Fi password at the cottage gets asked every summer. Which restaurant everyone liked in that one town gets asked before every trip back. And each time, the same person answers, because she is the one who remembers, and being the one who remembers is exactly what gets you asked again next time. The loop does not close. It just resets. The pool pass question itself is not the expensive part. She could answer it in 15 seconds, and honestly, she just did in her head without breaking stride. The expensive part is what it costs the thing she was actually doing. She had a number, a chart, a train of thought she was 2 sentences into building. The notification did not derail the call. It derailed her, quietly, mid-sentence, in a way nobody watching would ever be able to point to. This is the same tax the earlier videos in this series have named. The cost is never the message. It is what you have to climb back into afterward. 6 times today. Not 6 crises. 6 pool pass-sized questions, each one landing while she was mid-thought about something that had nothing to do with the pool. And notice the asymmetry that keeps it running. For the person asking, the cost of asking is 0. Type send, move on. The cousin spent 4 seconds on the pool question and got on with her afternoon. She has no idea it landed in the middle of a presentation because the answer came back fast and smooth, the way it always does. The smoothness is the disguise. From the outside, being the family answer machine looks free. Think about the first time you ever hired a babysitter you did not already know. You did not just say, "Take care of the kids and leave." You wrote it down. Bedtime is 8. No nuts. The neighbor's number is on the fridge if anything comes up. The dog does not go past the porch. You gave a total stranger enough context to act like she knew your house, because she did not, and you knew that going in. Notice what the note actually did. It did not make the babysitter smarter. It made her useful. Same person, same abilities, and 1 page of context moved her from asking about everything to handling almost everything. Nobody calls that magic. It is a briefing, and every functional workplace on Earth runs on them. An AI assistant is that exact kind of stranger. It knows nothing about your household by default. And most people never do the equivalent of writing the fridge note. They ask 1 question, get 1 generic answer back, and quietly decide the thing is useless. It is not useless. It is unbriefed. Those are different problems with different fixes. You do not need to write a biography. A handful of lines, saved once, does most of the work. Your kids' ages and any allergies. The school's early dismissal Wednesdays. The neighborhood you are in. So answers about pools, clinics, and closing times are not generic guesses. And the names the group chat keeps re-asking for. The pediatric dentist, the pharmacy, the plumber who actually calls back. That is it. That is the whole fridge note. Give that once, and the pediatric dentist question stops needing her specifically. Ask about a packing list, and it knows the kid is 7, not 17. Ask what time the community pool closes, and it does not need her to look it up between slides on a call. Will it get something wrong now and then? Yes. So does everybody in the chat. The difference is that checking a written answer is a small job, and being the answer all day, every day is not. The searchable question stops routing through her by default, not because she stopped being helpful, because the group chat found a faster answer that does not require interrupting a meeting to get it. 1 honesty, because this is the part that gets oversold. This does not replace her in the chat. It replaces the specific, searchable, answerable in 30 seconds questions. Which dentist? What time does the pool close? It does not touch the messages that need a person. The worried one, the funny one, the one that is really about something else entirely, and everybody in the thread knows it. The honest framing is not, a machine can be her. It is, a machine can hold the boring quarter of what she holds, and the boring quarter happens to be the part that interrupts her work the most. That is a smaller claim and a truer one. And setting it up is itself a task. Somebody has to write the fridge note in the first place, and if that job also lands on her by default, This whole video just moved the tax instead of removing it. That is worth its own conversation, and it is coming. For now, the point is narrower. Not every question in a family group chat deserves an interruption to answer. Some of them just need a place to live that is not her head. So go back to that call, the one with the chart she worked all morning on. The phone still buzzes. The question still gets asked. But this time, nothing has to leave her head to answer it, because it was never going to need her specifically. That is the test for the whole experiment, by the way. Not whether the technology impresses anyone, because it will not. A briefed assistant answering a dentist question is about as glamorous as a fridge note, and exactly as useful. The test is narrower. How many times this week did something reach into her workday that did not actually need to? That number is the whole scoreboard. And if the number bothers you, look at it the way you would look at any system. Not who is to blame, because nobody is. Nobody chose the route. It said itself, one fast reply at a time over years. The useful question is smaller. Where does a searchable question go by default in this family, and who maintains that default? Because anything that set itself can be reset. Here is what I would actually sit with this week. Every time you answered the family chat fast today, ask yourself afterward, was that something only you could have answered? Or were you just the nearest desk with a phone on it? Next week, why the scam text always seems to arrive at 4:47 p.m., right between the work call and the school run. New one every week. Subscribe if this is useful.